permission to record. We'll start tonight's press conference with a few words from head coach Josh Wolff. Go ahead, coach.
Yeah, obviously our last game at Q2, and extremely proud of our players. Really proud of this organization. Obviously, it's been an exciting, long year, and probably didn't get the results we wanted at home. But our fans and our support, our community has been behind us from the outset, and it's been incredible. It's been incredible to see that. It's been incredible to fuel that and be part of this organization. And hopefully tonight is an indication of what we can be and what we want to be going into next year. And again, nothing but love for all of our fans, but certainly our supporter section. They're the heartbeat of this team, certainly on the field, in the stadium, and throughout our community. And we have so much to be proud of with this club, but it starts with our fans and our community. And I must say, on behalf of our players and staff, we couldn't be more pleased to be part of this organization and proud of our fans. And thank you for everything. Thank you for always being there. And we look forward to getting back here next year. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, we'll get started with tonight's press conference. All right. First up, Goodman with the Austin Chronicle. Go for it, Eric.
Thanks, Laura. So, Josh, certainly not a bad way to flip the lights off on this place for the winter.
Yeah.
I guess just how, what is the significance of this result at this moment for the club?
I think it's pretty significant. I think it's, again, I mentioned coming into this game against this team, and they are and have been one of the best teams in this league for a number of years, and that is the case this year as well. And we've played extremely well against the better teams in this league, and they're one of them. And tonight to obviously get a performance like this, I talked about making this a big performance and making it a big memory. And our guys came with that from the opening whistle. The first goal was a dream start, and then just the focus and the commitment throughout the game. The quality at times that we had was extremely good, and then the discipline throughout the match, things we've talked about a lot over the last few months, and that have helped us put in good performances here at Q2 was there to be seen. And we had John Gallagher come in at right back literally minutes before the game, and I don't even think he realized that Nick Lima was out, but he came to me and he's like, I'm good for right back. I can do it. And we knew he'd played a little bit in Atlanta, but he was up for it right away. And it was such a tremendous effort by our guys, and a selflessness that was everything that we talk about with this group. And again, to have the quality to grab 3 goals, and we certainly could have grabbed some more, was fantastic. It was great for the players and great for these fans.
Thank you. Next up, Chris Bills. Go for it, Bills.
Yeah, just touching on what you just mentioned with John Gallagher there. I think you said yesterday you were going to have to get creative with the back line. You had to get even more creative just minutes before. First of all, what's the status of Nick? What went on there? And when did you know that Alex was going to play center back? Just kind of that conversation and preparing those guys to play out of their positions.
Yeah, we knew about Alex. I talked to him. I don't think he has he doesn't quite want to be the newest Beckenbauer and be a center back, but he took it in stride, and we talked about it earlier this week. And Alex is a pro. He's a beast. He's got such good experience, such calm, reading the game. And the other part is he just gives us experience along the back line. He gives us the ability to build through pressure. And we talked about it early. Once Johan was down, we knew we were in trouble with center backs, and he did a fantastic job. But Davey Arnault came in with a few minutes left in the warm-up prior to the game and told me that Nick had a little issue with his groin, and we talked about it as they came in, and Dave Tinney, and it just wasn't worth the risk. If we had to make a sub 2 minutes in, it puts you in a bad spot. So we'll see how severe it is. It's he wasn't able to cross the ball, or when he crossed it, he had some pain. So I applaud him for being honest and coming forward. And again, John put his hand up right away and was like, "That I got it. It's something I'm comfortable taking." He knows we're a little thin in certain spots, and he ran with it. Him and Jared on the right side were unreal. Were fantastic, and they executed what we wanted to do with Kansas City on that side in particular extremely well. And a lot of credit goes to the players and their ability to grind, fight, and run with the punches. Those were some unexpected things, and the performance was fantastic from both of them and from the entire group.
Thank you. Next up, Kirk Bowles with the Statesman. Go for it, Kirk.
Yeah, Josh, scoring 41 seconds into the match, that must have been one hell of a pep talk you gave in coming out. And did you feel like this was y'all's best game of the year?
It was a good performance. I mean, again, we sacrificed a bit of possession. We know the opponents we're playing against, and you have to respect some of the qualities that they have. And I'd say it was one of our best performances for sure. We've had some really good wins, obviously at home, and some good ones on the road. But this was a real man's performance, a real responsible performance. These guys from the opening whistle knew what this game was going to look like, knew who this team was, and we also had real confidence that we could play and hurt them. And we've done that in the previous 2 games, and we didn't get the results probably that we felt we could have gotten. So they came in, regardless of where we're at in the standings, with certainly an understanding and confidence as to how we could go about this game. But to start with that goal, I mean, it was a fantastic goal from goalie to Johnny and progressing, and it was beautiful. And I think that settles us more than anything. It really just brought us into the game in a nice way, and we weathered some storms, but a really good, complete performance.
Thank you. Next up, Phil West. Go for it, Phil.
Yep, congrats on the win. Obviously, you got to get Owen out there for the last couple minutes of the game, so just wanted you to maybe reflect on that moment. Obviously, special for us, that's his first time run, but obviously special to you for obvious reasons.
Yeah, no, excited for Owen. It's a great opportunity. He's worked hard this year, and again, he's a 16-year-old that, again, I think we all see quality and potential. And Claudio's been in this game a long time, and we're fortunate to have been able to sign him as a homegrown. And he's going to continue to get minutes, and part of the development is getting this experience, feeling what those nerves are like. But obviously playing more as a wide guy, but he's more of an internal guy. But he brings intensity. He's got ball winning, and you got to get your feet wet. And it was a good opportunity for him. And again, we got Freddie in at the end as well. So happy for all the guys that were able to come in and contribute. But again, the guys that started the game really set the stage for what tonight was going to be about. And I couldn't be more proud of our entire group.
Thank you. Next up, Mark Turner. Go for it, Mark.
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on the victory. I was going to ask you about Owen as well, being a dad of a competitive soccer player. I know how proud you'd be, but Phil got ahead of me. So instead, I want to turn my attention to Jared Stroud, who had a fantastic start to the season.
Yeah.
And has kind of become the forgotten man a little bit. I think in part because of some of the recruitment that's gone on in this summer. Do you feel like he played tonight like he had a point to prove? I mean, he was like a man possessed, and of course getting his goal was fantastic for him as well, capping that performance. But what are your thoughts on Jared?
Yeah, I think he was man of the match. We for me in the locker room, I gave him the ball, and it was deserving for so many reasons. As you said, he started this year. He played a lot of games in the beginning of the year, and again, he would get in positions to score goals. He grabbed a few assists. And again, competition's difficult, and performances come and go. But his mentality to come to work every day, he's not happy about not being on the field or not in the 18 or 20, but he doesn't stop working. And there's a selflessness about the way he works, and a collectiveness by buying into everything that we're doing. And tonight the performance was exceptional, absolutely exceptional. And he deserves all the applause, because again, it's not easy to have not played, which he's one of our fittest guys on the team, and he was cramping because he put everything he had into that game, and he was rewarded with obviously a goal and assist. Even the first one, he hit the post as well. So from top to bottom, what we were asking him to do as a defending out on that outside with Johnny Gallagher too, he was fantastic. So great performance by him, and obviously we look forward to seeing what we can do in the next game as well.
Just want to point out, Coach, you've got the wrong kind of top on today, but don't worry, I got you.
I thought Phil was going to say something. We won last time with this top, and he was right. He was quite complimentary, so I was surprised he didn't sneak that in there.
We were impressed you didn't put a jacket on until the second half.
That's why I wore this. Phil made a point, and I put this thing on.
Thank you. Next up, Zach Smith. Go for it, Zach.
Thanks. You've talked a lot about Sebastian and the impact that he's made since he got here, and the numbers speak for themselves before he got here and now. After, was this kind of a perfect example of kind of the space he creates and what he does to make this team better in a larger look at everything? Yeah,
I think you see a lot of that, and as he gets more comfortable with our players, and again, a preseason with him and Musa will do a lot of good, because there's still detail that we want to layer in for him, but his quality is quite clear. His calmness and his ability to make those around him better is quite transparent. And again, he has individual quality. He gets out of stuff that not many players get out of. He gets out of it going through legs. He gets out of it going around guys, combining, getting back. but he always arrives in and around the penalty box. And there's a huge responsibility for players like him, and not all of them take it in the way that he does. But he's everywhere on the field and influential in all phases of play for us. And we don't talk about the defending. His change of speed, his level of commitment. Again, these things are infectious. And when you're building a team and you have players like this that have done what he's done in his career, I hope to God it's a role model. I mean, when I look at him, I'm amazed. He does the work and then some in training, in the attack, and on defense. And we're fortunate to have him, but we're gonna obviously look to do similar things in the next game against Portland. And he's been a big addition for us without a doubt.
Thank you. Looks like we have time for 2 more questions. Stu, go ahead and take that second one, and John Lupo, go ahead and take that last one.
All right. Thanks, Laura. Coach, congratulations on the win. I know you got one more match on this weekend against Portland, but I want, as great as tonight was, you've had your highs, but you've also had your lows. So going back through this season, kind of a 2-part, biggest thing you learned about your team that you can improve for 2022, and biggest thing you learned about yourself as a coach that you can change in 2022?
That's a big question. That's a big question for post-game. It's a lot layered into that. About my team, I think we're a resilient bunch. I think we've had a lot of moments, as you quickly alluded. We probably lost more games than we'd like. We've lost more games than we should have. And, I think our resiliency, and again, as this year's gone on and we've layered in more quality, I think you can clearly see having the likes, having a goal scorer, having a forward, really added to our element as a team. And of course, it's challenging to go on the road and play at home and do have some of the obstacles we've had. But I'm most proud of that. I mean, we've done a great job of obviously building and bringing this organization into this community, into this league. And we've had some very good moments. We've had some difficult moments, but we're an expansion team, and those come. I mean, there is a level of expectation that I had with this season, and we've overperformed in some areas, and we've certainly underperformed in others. But getting better is the priority. Learning about myself, there's plenty that I've learned as far as managing games, how we manage training sessions, managing players. These are all things that, again, in the second year, I know I'll be much better with, because you've gone through the trials and tribulations of it. But I'm confident in the way that I've been able to help build this team with Claudio and our staff, and the way that we play. And I look forward to the challenges of next year. We're going to get better. We're going to add players, and we're already a competitive team. We got to get more consistent and a little more ruthless, and those things will be welcomed in 2022. But great question.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you. John Lupo, go ahead and take that second question.
Thank you, Laura. So, Josh, just talk about Diego's performance tonight. I know he didn't get on the score sheet necessarily, but he had a hand in all 3 goals. And just talk about how steady a presence and how steady an influence he's been for you guys basically all season.
He has been. He's a quiet leader. He leads by the way that he plays, and he didn't score tonight, but he had a couple chances that fell to him, and that's exactly who you want it to fall to, and he usually takes those chances. So, like Sebastian, he tends to have some sort of contact or impact on the goals or the creation of goals, and that's contributed to his ability to be selfless, his willingness to work for others, and again, he came into this season, having not played a lot in last couple of years in New England, but his quality is clear, and as he got fit, his performances were indicative of the type of player he is, and he's been fantastic for us, and we look forward to next year. Again, layering in a few more players, and obviously having our forwards around will only help his cause. But Diego deserves a lot of credit for this year, and I need him to perform big again in one more game, and hopefully he'll do that and grab some goals.
Thank you. We had a last-minute question
Sure.
from Eric Goodman. Go for it, Eric.
Thanks, Laura. Josh, I'm going to break character a little bit and ask a very specific on-the-field tactics question.
Sure.
For Moussa Djite,
Yeah.
who seems to profile as, the out-and-out striker who you could have just kind of sit in that alley between the center backs and wait for service, cause havoc. Instead, he's moving horizontally a lot, alternating with the wingers at times and getting out, onto the wing. What does that open up for the attack, and why send him kind of out to those wings and allow him to roam rather than just having him stay within that kind of center back alley?
Yeah, he probably went out there a little more than we would have liked, but when he goes in between center back and fullback, we want Diego, our winger on that side, to come down in between lines as well, so that we have kind of two to occupy the line, and we're able to have two that can kind of frame their center mid. So those are some of the things. But I didn't like him being out there as often as he did. But he has a physical presence. If he's lined up against a center back, he's still able to hold up balls. But if he goes out against a fullback, it's quite easy for him to collect balls and bring them down. I want him in front of goal. I want him more central. He does a great job bringing in other players into the game, and certainly in and around goal, he needs to be in front of goal more. And we'll continue to talk to him. He's fought through this little ankle sprain that he had a few weeks ago. I'd say it's challenged his performances a little bit, but he still brings us physicality and the ability to get out. And against opponents like this, you need a reference point up there. And obviously, as it went 3-0, we knew Kansas City was going to take some certainly aggressive approach, and at that point, McKenzie's a nice guy to come in for speed and obviously stretch their back line and really, again, provide some pressure to their back line so they couldn't just roll the ball around freely the entire time. But I thought Musa performed pretty well, but we got to find ways to get him in front of goal and get him more goals.
Thank you. That was the last question today for head coach Josh Wolff. We'll be joined with midfielder Jared Stroud shortly.
Thank you.